Hello everyone, I'm here today with a flip-through video. I am showing my 6x12 album from my Europe trip in October of 2022. And actually these are just the Amsterdam layouts from the beginning of the trip. We spent 2 days in Amsterdam before moving on to Belgium. We actually came back to Amsterdam sort of for half of the last day and then flew out the next. Got up in the morning, went to the airport, flew out. So there will be some other Amsterdam shots from that sort of half day at the end. But for now, I'm showing all the Amsterdam layouts at the beginning. And this is my album here. I got this from Rita. It's a Spanish site. So if you want to find this, you can order from them. However, just be warned that if you are outside of Europe, it's probably going to cost you a pretty penny in shipping. When I bought these, I got 2 of them. It was reasonable. And then, of course, the rates have gone up. So right now, I don't know that it would be cost effective to do it. But if you like this, go out, find it, see what you think. I do love it because of the wording and then the map of the world here. So let's take a look at what I have. So this is my opening page. And I did a lot of layering here with a stamp, which I don't normally do, but I really love the way it looks. So I need to remind myself that I like this and that I've done it and that it works, because I kind of forget sometimes. And then in this album so far, I have a lot of single page layouts. And it's just the way like the pictures worked out given what we were doing. So obviously the opener is a single, but these are both singles here. So this is just sort of a, hey, getting ready to go. We left on the 10th of October. Came back the 18th. Little snip of my boarding pass, not the whole thing. So actually it only shows, we went from here to Reykjavik and then from there on to Amsterdam. So it only shows that second leg here. Just did a puffy sticker. I had this card already, obviously, and I just added some stickers to it. So it made for a really easy page, which I like. And then here, I always like to get pics on the plane. I don't sleep on planes. I've tried. I try every time and it never works. It's too loud. I can hear people moving. Even if I have an eye mask, which I always bring, like I can still see some light. And I think it's just the anticipation. I just can't sleep. So you can kind of see I was watching the map here as we were approaching Amsterdam. My daughter did want to be as close to the wing as possible, so we were able to get some good photos out the window. And then I had these fun cards. These are both from Kelly Perky / Paper Person. And so I used this one. I've been hoarding this sucker. I actually have 2 of them. I've been hoarding it so I could use it on an international trip. And so here I got to do that. And I just highlighted that we were flying over the Atlantic. All right, so now we're into the layouts where we have actually arrived in Amsterdam. So I featured the central train station here, and then the walk to our hotel was a little bit difficult to get to it because there was a lot of construction on the street in the middle, like right in front of it. We figured out a back way later, but it was a challenge trying to get in there at first while hauling bags. I have that. And then this was our train ticket from the airport to the train station here. We were really close to this, so we used this as our main train stop. But I wanted to keep our ticket in there, so I just punched a hole in it. It's pretty sturdy. Put an embellishment on the back, called it good. But I love that it's kind of just floating in there. And then here I wanted to showcase that, yes, what is said about Amsterdam is true. There are bicycles everywhere. And so I wanted to include that in there. And I just happen to have this lovely wood veneer bicycle. I don't even remember where that's from or where I got it. It's not something I would normally use, but for this, it worked. And then on this side, another single pager. I just wanted to feature the lovely canals. That's the best part of Amsterdam, I think. And what's interesting is I liked Amsterdam. I didn't love it, but I liked it. I would be willing to go back and explore more of the canals because it seemed like that's what I really enjoyed, is just kind of walking the area. But who knows if that'll happen. We'll see. Hopefully someday I'll get back there. Then this was a meal that we had once we were in the city and settled, and we ate right on the canal, which was awesome. And I wanted to especially showcase this one because this is one of the best burgers I've ever had in my life, but it was vegetarian. It wasn't actually meat, but it tasted like it. It looked like it. If you didn't tell someone, I don't think they would know. So it was a very lovely meal. You can see here the fries were also good. And then I just did a little review here, put a tab on so it's clear that you're supposed to flip. Did some more stamping here. I actually have done a lot of stamping in this album so far, which is great. I mean, I have so many, I might as well use them. So here's 2 more singles. They could possibly go together, but they weren't meant to. But here I had this fun card that actually said Amsterdam. So I just did a little more stamping below it and used it because I thought, if I have that, how am I not going to use it for this? But really, if you look at this, it's very simple. All I did was add on a couple of phrases here that were pre-cut. They came that way from kits that I have, and a puffy sticker. That's it. I didn't stamp this here. I believe this came on there, or did I? Maybe I did stamp that too. I've stamped a lot. But anyway, it's very simple. So you can see, like, I didn't do anything crazy here, but I think it looks good. And then moving on this side, again, some canals, and then just buildings. The buildings are gorgeous there. So of course I had to take photos of that. And I tried to work with the red here to bring that out. So every photo has just a little bit of red somewhere, or a lot in this case. And all I did was, you know, phrase label up there at the top, and then layered these pieces here. That's it. So this one was not complicated either. This side, again, 2 one-pagers, but this one I love because it's got the fold out. So it's actually a 9x12, not a 6, but it folds in, which gives me the opportunity to use more spaces for photos, and I had enough here. So again, featuring some of the canals. This was a lovely chipboard piece I had. All I had to do was just slap it on a background. Super easy. Did decide to do some stamping again, and this time I did it in white, which I always love the way that looks. But it's another thing where I kind of forget about it. I'll do it for a while on multiple things, and then it'll fall off and I'll forget, and then I'll come back to it, you know, after months. And so you'll see a sort of maybe a group of layouts that have it, and then nothing. That tends to be how I roll. And then I have all of this on the inside, stamped this, filled it in, did a puffy sticker. I actually had another sticker on this that when I did the process video, I put a sticker on there and then decided I didn't like it the more I looked at it, so I took it off. So I'll reuse it for something else. And that happens sometimes where I change my mind after the fact. Another little just puffy sticker there. The cards do a lot of the work for me here, so it didn't take much. And over here, this was a fun one to put together because I got to use some cool wood veneer that I've been hanging on to. So it's coffee themed. And because the inside of this building was so rustic, I felt like it really worked with the theme. And again, I didn't do a lot here. This came on the card. So I just stuck on the wood veneer, did my journaling, put these little pieces on down here, which they were already cut out, so not a big deal. And then I did some ink splattering. That's it. But I love the way it looks. I think it's cute, and I love that I got to put in some brighter colors with all of these neutrals. All right, 2 more single pagers here. So this was after we got our coffee. We wanted something for breakfast, but we didn't want a sit-down meal because we had plans. We wanted to get out in the city and sightsee. So we found this little corner shop that had different kinds of waffles and sorbet, ice cream, what have you. So we just popped in there real quick and got several things that we could walk with. So we ate those while we walked in the city, which was great. And again, some wood veneer here, a little puffy sticker, nothing crazy happening. But now here starts the Anne Frank stuff, and you're not allowed to take pictures inside the main house. So anything I have from that are like postcards or brochures or things like that. They aren't my own photos. This one is because I took that outside. So it's kind of a rare one. And then they had stickers in there in the shop. And so I have some of those, and I've used one there, which was great. But again, just a busy background. One photo to talk about, you know, going in and having the experience, and that's it. So it made it easy. And because I didn't really need a full page, I went with a 6x8 insert, which is kind of nice just to mix things up. And then on this side again, we did see this. This is the bookcase where it opens and then they hid behind it. This is a postcard because again, you weren't allowed to take photos. So I just had to work with what was in the gift shop and the booklets that I bought in order to make this happen. So I put all that together. This is a vellum background, which I love. And then I have a bunch of digital files that I cut apart that are all related to historical things. And so I was able to use a lot of those there. And then I have this 4x12 insert. My only complaint about this, as you can see, is that the stuff doesn't stay in there well. It tends to slide out of these pockets. So I'm not sure if at some point I'm going to have to put like washi here, but then you wouldn't be able to get this is a whole booklet. You wouldn't be able to get that out. I need to do something to keep them from just falling out, but I don't know what that is. And these inserts are from close to my heart. So just so you know, if you buy them, they are a great option to have two verticals like this, but things don't stay in there very well. So here on the back, that's another postcard that I bought in the gift shop. And I just stamped this and put it on, again, stamping. And then this was from the bag that I got for the things that I purchased. And so I thought, well, that's a pretty vellum. You can see through it. It did get a little wrinkle from carrying it around, but that's fine. I like that it's lived in. And so I just cut this out to go with it. So pretty simple layout there. On this side, again, two singles. On this side, I decided to do another insert. And this one I actually attached the piece that goes through the rings rather than putting this in a page protector, just because I kind of like having a few things that live outside page protectors. It's kind of fun. So I have this, which was entering the Van Gogh Museum because that was the other big thing that we wanted to do on that day. And then again, stamping. I have some special Europe stamps, plus some that are related to art and culture, museum visits, entertainment, things like musicals and Broadway. And so I use this one that says art and culture. It is a national treasure since Van Gogh was Dutch. And of course, if you're in Amsterdam, you have to use the windmill. On the back side here, this was a postcard, an enlarged postcard that I bought in the gift shop. All I did was stamp again, add this little flag, and that's it. And that's in Dutch, which was perfect. And then here we're going through the museum. Again, I just added little pieces of things here. This one at the top. This card was actually spelled incorrectly. The I was not there. So I had to inform the person who made it and let them know. And then I squeezed it in, but it kind of matches. I don't know that people would notice unless I said it. So it worked out. It's okay. I love the color scheme here too. And then here, of course, the sunflowers and some famous Van Gogh paintings. And I didn't want to detract from those. So again, very simple design elements here. Just a little flag here or pennant at the top, this little thing here, and then on this card I did put in a staple here. This is another one where after the fact I went back to it and I added in the stamping that says artsy vibes. So that was not there originally, but when I was looking at it, it was just too white, too blank. It needed a header of some type, and so I went with that. And then here, this was just the brochure / map that you get once you get inside the museum. And so I just took off the cover and used it. I thought it was perfect since it had Van Gogh's face. Again, stamping. I think almost every layout on here has had stamping so far. And then on the back side, when we were done at the museum, we were hungry, but like not enough for a full meal. And so there was a French fry vendor in the park near the museum. And so we just grabbed that and again walked with it. And it was lovely to just stroll the park and have a little snack. And I just used some fun little food stickers that I have, and again, stamping. And again, it's fun to have just like a 4x8 insert randomly in there. And it works for the photos that I had. I didn't need more than that. I don't want to fill an entire 6x12 page just to do it. If I don't need it, I'll go smaller. And then here is our last page here for our initial stay in Amsterdam. This was actually getting back to the train station, and then we took an evening train to Brussels, which was our base for like the next 5 days. So I just wanted to showcase that because it's a very busy train station, and it was a little confusing to figure out at first, but by the time we left, we're like, yep, we kind of got it down now. We know what we're doing. So we just showcased some trains here, and then did my journaling, one little phrase sticker, wrote in the times, that's it. So I'm trying to keep it, you know, pretty simple here. But now you've seen all of the preliminary, at least, Amsterdam layouts and the album that I'm using. So I hope that was enjoyable, and I hope that you will stay with me as I move on to Brussels. Thanks for watching.